Dear sisters and brothers in New Zealand, greetings from the little town of Bethlehem in Palestine. My name is Mitri Raheb and I'm the president of Dar al-Kelma University here in Bethlehem, the first and only university in all of Palestine with a focus on arts and culture. It gives me a great privilege to address you this morning in your General Assembly. The Methodist Church has been a faithful partner with our ministry for years. When you think of Palestine, maybe you don't think of Christians. But remember, Christianity was started in Palestine. Jesus was born in Bethlehem, Palestine, exactly like where I was born. And for the last 2,000 years, there has been a Christian presence in this country. Today, unfortunately, there are less than 170,000 Christians living in historic Palestine, including less than 1,000 Christians living in the Gaza Strip. And these Christians in the Gaza Strip also have been living there for centuries. Gaza used to be a mission hub for the church in the first 7th century. We have Christian saints that came out of Gaza. And so the Christian community in Gaza has deep roots there. But also half of the Christian community in Gaza are displaced people. These are Christians who were kicked out by Israel in 1948 from their thriving cities of Jaffa, Lyd, Ramle, on the Mediterranean coast, and they fled to Gaza. I think you are following the news in Gaza these days. We have more than 10,000 Palestinians who were murdered in this war by Israeli strike. Over 27,000 people injured. 70% of those murdered and injured are civilians, innocent civilians, 4,000 children, 3,000 women. Imagine living in Gaza today where 50,000 women are pregnant and where the bombing are dropping left and right from them. In this war, actually, it's a genocidal war. The airstrike targeted 31 mosques. The Greek Orthodox Church, the assembly hall of that church was destroyed, and 20 Palestinian Christians from Gaza were murdered in that airstrike and 14 injured. The cultural center of the Greek Orthodox Church, a brand new state-of-the-art building, was destroyed. We as a university with a satellite program in Gaza, we lost 4 of our artists. These are young, creative Palestinian artists. Hiba was murdered with his entire family, 8 people, 3 kids, through an Israeli airstrike on their house. One of our volunteers and artists, Muhammad, was at the Anglican hospital singing with children about peace when the airstrike hit that place, and he and the kids were killed. The hospitals in Gaza were targeted. And people have no medicine. There is no clean water in Gaza for people to drink, so people are drinking from the sea. It's an alarming situation, and unfortunately, we don't hear enough politicians calling for an immediate ceasefire. You know, we want you really to understand this, what's happening here. This is not a conflict between 2 parties. And this is not a religious conflict between Jews and Muslims, because there are Christians here and in Gaza. And this situation did not start on October 7th. It started back in 1948 when the State of Israel was established and 700,000 were made refuge and were displaced, and where Israel took 77% of historic Palestine. And even that was not enough for them. They are taking over half of the land in the West Bank, and now they would like to take about half of the land in the Gaza Strip, which is the most populated area in the entire world. So, to understand what's happening here, it's very easy. It's not complicated at all. This is a settler colonial context. Jewish European settlers came to settle in Palestine, not to share the land with the Palestinians, but to drive the Palestinians out. This is what they have done in 1948, this is what they have done in 1967, and this is what they are doing right now in Gaza. It's a settler colonial project where the indigenous people, the Palestinians, are left with no rights for self-determination, no equality, but in a context of what human rights organizations, including Jewish human rights organizations, are calling apartheid. And so we need you as our fellow Christians in New Zealand to stand not with us Palestinians, but for justice, to stand against settler colonialism, against apartheid, for equality, against the targeting of civilians, irrespective on which side they are. Civilians have to be protected. Children's life matter. Women's life matter. And so we ask you to call for an immediate ceasefire, for the bombs to stop falling on Gaza. So far, 18,000 tons of bombs were dropped on Gaza. This is more than what has been dropped over Hiroshima. Imagine, in this densely populated area. We want you to call for an open and sustainable humanitarian corridor so that people in Gaza can get medicine, water, food, and power. And we ask you to support us in our self-determination, our right for self-determination, justice for Palestine, because without justice for Palestine, there will be no peace for Israel, so that all can live in equality. In New Zealand, you dealt with some of these issues, and you were able to solve many of them. We hope that you will support us in solving those issues here. Please continue to pray for us and continue to advocate for a free Palestine. Thank you, and we wish you a blessed meeting. I know some of you, and I send my greetings and the greetings of the Palestinian Christian community to every one of you. Salam from Palestine.